Hello and welcome to part 2 of the rate book. So to continue from the last section, there are some tobacco. The first health question detail here is the tobacco question. This includes all forms of smokeless tobacco and chewing tobacco. This question here references this question on the application. In the past 12 months, has the applicant used any form of tobacco? Yes or no? And if they answer yes, the rate is higher. All right, uninsurable conditions right here. We cannot insure a client that has been tested positive for HIV, been diagnosed by a physician, or having AIDS, or a life expectancy of 12 months or less. So the client must answer no to that. Is the applicant currently bedridden, hospitalized, or in a care facility receiving hospice care? They must answer no. If they answer yes, we cannot insure them, get referrals, and be kind and move on. The significant health conditions. You must be mindful of this. We used to have a 2-page application. We simplified it even more. Actually, it was 1 page front and back, and we simplified it even more. So these health conditions here, numbers 1 through 9, also coordinate and correspond to these questions here, numbers 1 through 9. Okay, so as you're reading this, and this is also part of the one of our other segments, qualifying the client, but we're going to walk through these health questions now. In the past 2 years, has the applicant been diagnosed, treated by a physician, or taking medications for any of the following conditions? Diseases of the heart, including heart attack, heart surgery, or congestive heart failure. If they answer yes, then they're modified. If they answer no, then there's final expense or 20 pay. Okay, but let's say they say, you know what, no, I don't have any of those, but I do have a heart defect. You're going to want to investigate. Or I do have angina pectoris, which are chest pains. That also pertain to question 1. Disease of the circulatory system, including stroke, aneurysm, or benovascular, surgery to improve circulation. If they answer yes, they're modified. If they answer no, their final expense or 20 pay. But that also includes TIA or mini strokes. So you just want to be aware of these. Another one that always that may slip through the cracks sometimes is chronic bronchitis, question number 4, which is diseases of the lungs, including COPD or emphysema other than asthma. If a client smokes and has an inhaler, you're going to want to investigate a little bit more. In that case, call underwriting and just talk to them. You're going to be calling the home office a lot, and you're going to be learning a lot from the home office about clients' health scenarios. Okay. Question number 5, disease of the liver, kidney, or had an organ transplant. If they say, no, I don't have that, but I have hepatitis C, then they are modified. Or cirrhosis or any form of dialysis, or if they're on a waiting list for a transplant. Okay. You kind of get the idea here. Just keep going down and make sure that you are aware of these significant health questions. All right. Scrolling down on the prescription or on the rate book here, prescription background check. So what we do is part of the underwriting process when you're in the house with the client to make sure that the coverage is issued as applied for. We will do the in-house. You will do the in-house phone verification and do a prescription background check. Now it is not it's not 100% accurate. We try the best we can. Some of the pharmacies are not part of the network that we run the prescription background checks on. So there's still a very small chance that a client may go through the underwriting process in the house with you as final expense, and then you talk to the client, or you talk to the home office, and they say, yep, he's good for final expense, and then it gets issued as modified. That's a very, very small percentage. I'm less than 1%, I would say. That's just in my opinion. They're very, very accurate for the most part. So what you always want to do this, so while you're in the house, once again, do the phone verification so the policy gets issued as applied for, and they're not surprised and want to cancel it right away, so you can solidify that sale and explain how their new coverage will be if they were final expense and, hey, we found out that Mr. Client is on a blood thinner. So you can then explain how the coverage will go through. Now, Maximum face amount, this is for third party. So if, for example, a mother, the owner of a policy, wants to take out insurance for her son who is of legal age, the son is the applicant, the son is a hooligan, and he's irresponsible, and she doesn't want him touching this policy. So the mom, which is the owner in this case, is the executor of the policy. She can change the beneficiary. She can cash it in. She can cancel it. She can increase it. She can decrease it. The applicant cannot. They have no rights. All they have to do is live, have the coverage, and pass away. In theory, you can have the owner, the applicant, the beneficiary, and the payer all different people, but you do not want that. All right, and what you'll want to do is read through these here of how much coverage in different scenarios that you can provide. But 9 times out of 10, the max amount is going to be $10,000 if someone else is the owner, and the owner has to have an insurable interest. Okay. So scrolling through on your own time, please read page 7 and page 8. These are your advanced guidelines. That's very important. It's very self-explanatory, so please read through those on your own on page 9. This here is the rates. You'll notice that there's 2 columns for female and male, and on the side here that determines what kind of plan that they're qualifying for. So at this point in the presentation, you would already have asked the client all the health questions, asked them, hey, can I see your medications? Great. They all check out. Now you're going to go to your rate book here and you're going to look through the rates. So there's a non-tobacco column, a tobacco column, an annual column, that's if the client's going to pay for the whole year, or a monthly column, the PAC, that's the monthly column. And you'll see here, you'll notice ages 0 through 24, it's a flat rate. Okay, so there's no fluctuation there. From 25 on, the older you get, the more expensive it gets. Now this rate here, if you're, let's say you're 30 years old and you're a female non-tobacco, I went ahead too much there, female non-tobacco, your policy is going to cost $1.84 for every $1,000 of whole life insurance that they get. Okay. Going down here, page 11, same thing, and it goes all the way up to age 85. Alright, now on the next page, page 12, you'll see that this is for 20 pay, so the rates are a little bit higher compared to final expense. And it continues to age 80. Now on page 14, you'll notice that this is the modified death benefit page. There is no rate for tobacco. Alright, if you're unhealthy, you're just unhealthy. You have cancer, you have COPD. So it goes from age 0 to age 85. And there's the male column, the female column. They can pay annually or they can pay monthly. Of course, they can also pay semi-annually as well, but we're going to talk about the payment methods later on down the road in the tutorial. Alright, this is your cheat sheet in the back, the last page, page 16. This is, if you ever get lost, you're not sure how to make a calculation, and we're going to go over that later on as well. What you do here is you just take the monthly PAC rate. Here's the example, a 66-year-old female who qualified for final expense non-tobacco rates wants a $10,000 policy with 3 units of AD&D on PAC. Sounds wordy. Not too difficult at all. So what you do is you go to final expense, female, non-tobacco. Scroll up here with the final expense page. Page 11, she's 66. She's a female, non-tobacco, 5.53. That is how much her insurance will cost per 1,000. So you take 5.53 times 10 plus the AD&D, which is $3, that's 3 units, plus the policy fee, which is $3 for every client. It's a flat rate, and that total is $61.30. So the AD&D coverage, how much does that cost? We're going to go in greater detail and go through some examples later on. So you have to flip to the AD&D page. All right, she got 3 units. She's between 0 and 70. Costs $3 a month. That's where the rate is. All their plans on PAC. It's going to cost $3 a month. So going up, back up to page 16. That's what, once again, that's going to be $61.30. She'll get $10,000 of whole life insurance plus 3 units of accidental coverage, which will provide her, whoop, I went ahead too much here, with multiply all these numbers here by 3 because she got 3 units. So 15,000, 7,500, 30,000, 60,000, 60,000, and 3,000. Alrighty. So that is the entire rate book. You're going to be using this every day. I recommend to keep a rate book on you in your bag, in your car, at your home office, wherever you need one. And we will move on to the next section here.